Hello there. Today I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful piece of abstract art using resin. Resin is not for the faint at heart, as I have learned. This is my first project and it was very difficult. It's a very sticky medium that has to be mixed properly or it can ruin the whole piece. But once you start working with it, you are going to be obsessed, as I am. It makes such beautiful, beautiful colors, textures, and makes everything that you put on it just glow and just looks so beautiful. You can put glitter in it, you can put beautiful glass rocks in it. The possibilities are endless. The resin that I use is from the epoxy resin store. It's the premium quality clear epoxy resin. So I got it directly from the epoxy store online. Combined, it's a gallon. And they charged $48 for a gallon, but they charged me $16 to ship it. And I used that one up. So I went on Amazon and I found it for $41. And they said it would take 5 to 10 days to ship. I got it the next day, free shipping, $41. So this is the way to buy it, is on Amazon. If you're mixing your resin by hand, you need to mix it for 3 minutes. I have a bad shoulder, so that wasn't an option for me. So I got out my husband's screw gun and put a long tip on it and stirred it that way. And it probably took me less than a minute. It needs to be mixed until it's clear, or there is no white formations in there. After you've mixed up your batch of resin, you're going to put it into smaller cups and mix your colors with it. I'm using Nova paints primarily here, alcohol inks, and mica powders. I did a combination of blues, yellows, gold, silver, and white. Mix the colors thoroughly with the resin. These are my mica powders. I use blue, green, gold, silver, and bronze. I'm working on a piece of wood that's 2 feet by 4 feet. It has been coated with gesso to prime it. Now I'm putting on a clear layer of resin. This will help my other colors to move across the board. Now I'm adding some blue rocks, and those will just stick right down onto the resin. Next, I'm adding the resin that's been mixed with the gold mica powder. On top of that, I put the resin that was mixed with the white paint, the resin that was mixed with the green paint, the blue paint resin mixture, the blue mica powder mixture, the white paint mixture, and then I went on top of that and layered again with every color that I had. The blue, the green, the white, the gold, the silver, until all of my paint and mica powder resin mix was onto the board. This resin has a 45-minute window before it gets thick and you can't work with it anymore. Heating it this way with a heat gun extends your time a little bit, and it also pushes the paints into each other to give a really different effect. Right now I'm picking up the drips on the table from the resin and putting them back up onto the wood board, which creates a real different look onto the board. Next, I'm taking my palette knife and working through the colors to kind of blend them together. I'm putting a little more clear resin on. And now I'm using my heat gun to push some of the colors out and to merge them with each other. I didn't work as quickly as I could have, so a lot of them are set but I love the way it looks. Of course, this being my first project, I didn't do everything perfectly, but I am happy with how it came out. Now I'm adding some silver leaf around the gold and green because the gold kind of got lost and I really wanted some silver in there. My silver mica powder kind of got completely lost, so I mixed up some more and I'm pouring that on the piece now. I found a dark sapphire blue mica powder, mixed it with some resin, a new batch of resin, and I'm putting that on now. I like the dimension it gives it, and it might push out a little bit because it's not hardened yet. However, the paint and resin mixtures below it is, so it creates another dimension, another layer of color, and it really makes a beautiful effect. This resin is so wonderfully fun to work with. If you haven't worked with it, I highly recommend you start. It's just, you can do anything with it, and you can keep going on top of it as it dries, like I'm doing here, and keep changing the look of the piece. Right now I'm just taking some silver mica powder mixed with resin and pouring that on to put another layer on top of the dried resin. And the effect that it gives is truly beautiful. Now I've mixed up some gold glitter with new batch of resin, and I'm pouring that into that dark mica powder. It gives another dimension and another color and just a completely different look on top of the bottom color resin. This is a white mica powder that I mixed with a new batch of resin, and I'm just pouring that into the green rocks that I had put down. Sorry I didn't film that, but I put some green rocks in there. I mixed some resin with a mica powder called Pistachio, and I poured that on, and I did not like it at all, so I mixed some more resin with some white. I'm pouring that on now, and then I go over that pistachio color because I did not like it at all. A little of it did get in, but not too much. Now I'm just pouring more white, more gold glitter mixed with resin. I mixed up a white iridescent glitter with some resin, and now I'm pouring that in. And then I mixed up a bronze mica powder with resin, and I'm pouring that in now. That gave it a really different look. And as you can see, it's sitting on top of the two layers below. Now I'm using my creme brulee torch to torch the colors that I just put down. This takes the bubbles out of them, warms the resin up so it can possibly move out a little bit. I'm using my heat gun to try to move these new colors into each other. This is a green glitter paint that I got from the dollar store. I put it in a syringe, and I'm just highlighting the piece with it. This further enhances the 3D effect and just intensifies the colors, makes it look deeper. Now we have some interesting color gradients that are created. This allows more transmission of light. I covered it with a cardboard box and let it sit overnight to cure, and one part of the green didn't get fully covered by the resin, so I wanted it to be sparkly, so I just am adding some gem tack glue and some green glitter to finish that off. After I finish putting this glitter on, this piece will be done, and I'm really thrilled with it. It's a really different abstract piece. I'm so excited to be working with glitter. I can't tell you enough how much fun it is to work with and how beautiful it is to see the different layers of color and light. Here it is hanging on my wall in my entryway. In my staircase, I have sort of like a gallery wall with all my abstract work. I'm really proud of it. I think it's beautiful. It's different. And I encourage you highly to work in this medium. It is really so fun, and you can, the sky's the limit with what you can create. It's a cloudy day and I didn't have much light, but still you can see all the different layers and how they make different textures and depth and the dimension and the glow of the resin. It's just such a fun piece. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this inspired you to get some resin out and pour some paint in it and get some glitter and have some fun. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste.